I mean, winning multiple races in IndyCar in 1 year, that's hard no matter what, right? Like getting your first win, boom, big achievement. But when you win again, I think no matter what in this IndyCar paddock, now you have a job for 100 years, right? Until you're 400 years old, right? Because it's like you're now demonstrating that like it's not a one-time thing. We're right back at it, which I think everyone thought you would do anyway. But the ebbs and flows of this season, right? There's only 4 races left, and you know, probably not going to win the championship, right? But there's a lot of good stuff that's happened. So how would you rate your season when it comes to like last year, Foyt? I mean, shoot, we all know how that went. Like that's a tough situation. And now you're a double race winner. You're talked about all the time. Big pole sitting guy. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of great stuff that's happened. So how would you rate your progression?
Yeah. You know, and I think, I mean, you understand it just as well as me. It's like crazy what just going to a different team and having like a different group of people around you can do. You know, it's like,
absolutely.
I think everyone's probably looking at me like, oh man, he's grown so much from last year and all this stuff. And where I really don't feel like I have. Like, I feel like
you're the same driver,
that I was last year. You know, I'm doing the same stuff. It's just so happens that I'm in a really good car with a really good group of people and everything's starting to click, you know? So, I mean, if I was to rate my season, I would be in like the B range, you know, cause we've had a lot of situations that I feel like we've had a better chance of winning. And if you actually look at my results from this year, it's like everyone is highlighting those 2 wins, right? But those are also the 2 top 5s that I've ever had in IndyCar racing, you know? So it's like the other best finishes I had were 6th and 7th. So it's like 2 firsts, a 6th and a 7th are my best career finishes, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, like we've had moments of brightness, and we've been quick at every event. It's just, we haven't executed in a way that we potentially should have. And whether that's coming from me or something stupid happens, or we did something a little weird on strategy, whatever it might be. It just seems like there was a lot of incidents that could have, we could have been in a better spot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, that I'm honestly completely understandable though, as well, because you obviously know you have a future with this group, and your engineer, Jeremy Millis, right? Like he's a super smart guy. He gets it. He's going to understand more of what you want as you guys go. And when you come back next year, right? Like you're going to refine yourself as well. There's going to be small mistakes that you're going to be like, yep, know how to do that now. You know what I mean? Know how to work with this team in this scenario. And Brian Herta or whoever is going to be your strategist, they're all going to get it. So I think there's a lot to what you've done in year 1 to where you're like, wow, hey, if obviously there's going to be some changes next year, right? With the hybrid unit or whatever's going on there, hopefully. But as you look forward, who do you think in your team, right? You've got Grosjean, who's been quick. Devlin's kind of on his own program, but you've got Colton as well, who is super fast. How much have you been able to learn from both of those guys as your teammates? Because again, they don't, you know, obviously Grosjean has his wild ups and downs. Colton's been through a lot of random stuff too, but they're fast, right? So that's got to help you guys as a group.
Yeah, I think Colton is, he doesn't like to admit that he is, but he really is our leader on the team, right? He's the one with the most experience. He's the one that kind of sets up the car.
Which is wild, by the way, because he's a child still.
I mean,
you both are kids.
You would think so, right? You would think so. I mean, he's younger than me, right? And
that's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's younger than me. So I mean, it's like it is wild. But he's been in the series for what, 5 or 6 years now?
Yeah.
And it's like he does have all the knowledge. He is more experienced than I am. He's more of a veteran driver than I am. So I mean, I'm pretty much basing everything off of him. Granted, I do match him sometimes. Sometimes we're better than him, but I'd say there's been a lot of times, especially the second half of the season, that he's outdone us, and he's also had incidents that should not have happened, right?
Absolutely.
When he's late, like Mid Ohio is one of them. Road America is one of them, right? Where it seems like they definitely should have won. So yeah, I mean, I'm completely blanking on what the question was. I was just talking.
How much does it help to be teammates with like two really fast guys, you know?
I mean, it's awesome, right? I mean, last year I didn't really have a teammate. I mean, I had Dalton, right? But Dalton was always, most of the time, he was a couple steps behind, you know, if I'm being honest. I mean, just brutally honest. But,
that's fact. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, I was always kind of doing everything on my own pace. And it's really hard to do that in IndyCar because every weekend that you show up, like I'd try and base everything off of the year before, like when Bourdais was there and look at his data and whatnot. But you show up to one race this year and it's like, oh man, the track's a second slower, or it's a second faster, or we have a different tire, or something is massively different. And you can almost never base it off of the same thing. You're always adapting and adjusting every weekend that you show back up to a racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, I only got to see obviously a peak of your guys' data through like Mid Ohio and a little bit at Iowa. And obviously Iowa is a bit of a different animal, but you know, to see the small differences between drivers and how they like to run things, right? It is fascinating because because I obviously have my own style as well. And I was kind of on an island from what I'd been used to driving, but I was like, man, I got to figure out, like, I got to get used to what these guys are driving as well. You know what I mean? And it's cool to see those differences, I guess firsthand. Now going on to, I guess what's next, there's not much left, right? But where do you think, like Indy GP wise, do you guys think this is a good string of tracks to finish out the year for you guys? Permanent road courses, high grip like Laguna Seca has been repaved, so very high grip surface. Portland's usually been pretty high grip. Indy GP, pretty high grip. St. Louis will be interesting because we got to run alternate tires there, so who knows what's going to happen there too. But good string of tracks for you guys here to finish things out. Like, are we going to go on a win streak here? Is this a Kyle Kirkwood 4 race in a row win streak?
Man, I completely forgot about the alternate situation at Gateway. Wow. I mean, that's a
that'll be interesting.
Sure. Yeah, super. Man, so let's think about it. I mean, Gateway has been a good event for the team. I think Colton's been really solid there. I think the past couple of years he's been really quick, but he's had like something weird happen, like a clutch failure or half shaft broken, I think was one of them. Is like crazy things happen. So I think we're better there than we have shown at some of the ovals this year. So I'm excited for that one. That's also my favorite oval. Next to the 500. Too. Yeah. Next to the 500, of course, right? I love Gateway.
I wish I could do that race with you guys. I do.
I'm excited for that one. For that one. And then we have Indy GP for some reason. Past couple of years, or I guess last year, did they do the 2 races in 21 there?
Yep. We've been doing. Yeah.
So for whatever reason, whenever Andretti Autosport shows up to the second race, they're usually better than they were at the first race, even if they don't change a single thing. So who knows why is that?
Big August month, folks. Yeah. You guys are big fall, pre-fall racers.
I think maybe it's because like the track has ran all summer long and there's a lot more activity on it, that maybe the grip level's higher. It is always usually a little bit faster, I think, the second race. And maybe the conditions suit us a little bit better, being a little bit cooler. So that's a questionable one, I would say. Gateway is probably going to be, I assume, pretty good. Portland was good for the team last year. I think they were like top five range. Penske was really quick, but I think it feels like we've got something on Penske. Penske was like rocket ships last year, right? Now they're kind of back. They're back in the mix. Like they came back into the mix where everyone's kind of caught up to them. So I think we'll have a good shot there. And then Laguna is always a staple for Andretti Autosport, I feel like, even though
did you get to test there? Did you get to do a test there?
We go and test there. We get like a whole test day before the race on Thursday.
Okay.
So we have a ton of track time there. Like that one's like a staple for Andretti Autosport, even though it's been like such a high deg track. And we typically don't do that well on high deg track.
New surface though. New surface.
Exactly. Brand new surface. So likely that it's going to be just like Road America, where we were extremely fast all weekend long, with a track that probably even suits us better. So it's going to be an interesting one. Who knows? I mean, there's still a questionable thing with the new surface, but we assume we will be really good there.